Hello, my beautiful soul friend. Welcome back to Enlightened Blissful Souls. God is Anny with you here energetically, sending you the highest form of love and of light right now. All right, so you want to learn how to connect with your spirit guides. Perhaps you have already been feeling their energy or their signs, or that they are trying to communicate with you, or maybe you're just curious and you want to open up that line of communication with them. Whatever the case, I'm here to guide you in 4 easy steps how to communicate with them. And let me just tell you that your spirit guides are the most loving, supportive team of angels that you could ever have. Strengthening your connection with them will not only bring ease to you, but it will bring comfort, security, and just some sort of knowing that everything will be okay. It's like having your own little best friends on the other side. Let's start off with talking a little bit about your spirit guides. Who are spirit guides? What are they there for? What do they do? Spirit guides are divine beings of eternal light, there to support you. These beings, although you may not remember them on a conscious level here on planet Earth, your soul certainly remembers them. These are beings that you were assigned to or that you chose before coming into planet Earth. You decided to work with these beings as a way of guidance in this lifetime. And they are there exactly for that. They are here to guide you through times in your life when you are going through changes or transitions. Those are the time when your spirit guides typically really step in, is when you are in need of assistance, when you don't know which path to take or what decision to make, when you're feeling uneasy or going through a difficult emotional time. They are there to simply reassure you and bring you guidance. They want nothing but the best for you. And in times of feeling lonely and like you don't have anyone else, they are the ones that you want to call to, because nothing would make them happier than being of assistance to you. Many spirit guides have been here in planet Earth before, so they actually know what the experience is like, although some of them are actually have incarnated in different planets, different galaxies, different realms. It all kind of depends what you're going through in your life at that moment, where your spirit guides will step in and some might step out a little bit and so on. You have spirit guides that have been assigned to you since you were born, since the day that you came into planet Earth. And others have stepped in while you went through major life changes, like a divorce or relocating or making major decisions in your life and so on. Okay, now let's talk about how you actually talk to spirit. How do you communicate with these beings that you can't even see? Well, let me start off by saying that it's not exactly vocal in the way that you and I would communicate here in the 3D. However, you talk to spirit essentially through telepathic communication, through your intuition. And in another sense, it's basically through your senses. And in a spiritual context, we refer to the senses as your clairs. Now, there are multiple clairs. However, there are 4 main ones that people usually refer to. The first one being clairvoyance, which is the ability to see images in your head. It's sort of like just getting an image that pops up in your mind's eye. The second one is claircognizance, which is just an inner knowing. You simply know things without an explanation. And this is actually my strongest clair. I just know things without knowing. Then we have clairsentience, which is all about feeling things in your body. Maybe a certain area in your body, you feel a cooling sensation. Maybe you feel pain or a heavy energy in that certain area as you are connecting. And the last one is clairaudience. Clairaudience is the ability to hear, and you may hear spirit in a different voice or your own. It's very rare to hear it in a different voice. It is typically in your own, but it's not impossible. Now, let me say that we all have these different clairs. However, most of the time, certain clairs will be more dominant than others. For example, for me, as I mentioned, claircognizance is my most dominant one. But that doesn't mean that I don't see images in my mind's eye, or that I don't hear spirit sometimes, or feel things in my body. So to explain this just a little further, in case you're still like, what do you mean? Technically, when I'm connecting with someone, or let's say I'm doing a reading for someone, or I am connecting with my spirit guide directly, I will feel or know certain things by my clairs, by my senses. For example, I might just see an image in my mind's eye that represents something else. Let's say that I see a feather in my mind's eye out of nowhere. Typically, feathers represent divine connection, changes, being supported, being wise and free. So maybe that could be a representation that in that time of my life, I need to be more wise about the decisions that I'm making, and that I need to align myself with decisions that make me feel more free. That's just one example, but I hope you get the point. To be completely honest with you, connecting with your spirit guides, connecting with the divine is all about your intuition and trust. You simply have to trust what you are receiving, what you are experiencing, and what you're feeling without allowing your judgmental mind, your conscious mind, to jump in and say, no, that's not real. No, you're just making that up. Simply go with the flow. Okay, now that we have gotten all of that out of the way about how you actually communicate with spirit in terms of your senses and what and who spirit guides are, let's get into actual practices about how you can connect and start strengthening your connection with spirit. Number 1, meditation. You probably guessed this one, but you have to take some time to meditate, to quiet your mind and allow yourself to enter your subconscious mind, the subconscious realm. Not only do you enter a place where your analytical mind is not taking control, but you also elevate to a higher realm to connect and meet, let's say, in a medium spot with your spirit guides. So what you want to do is simply meditate for maybe 10 to 15 minutes starting out, and do this as often as you can. I would do this 2 to 3 times a week, and you're simply going to a meditative state where you are relaxed, feeling comfortable, feeling safe. And after you've taken a couple of deep breaths, invite in your spirit guides. You are going to intentionally, because your intention is going to be the most powerful thing, invite them in. Ask them to connect with you. Ask them to come forward. And then from there, simply allow whatever needs to happen. Try not to put expectations of how meeting your spirit guides is going to be or what you're going to see and experience. More so, let it be. Because usually in the beginning, it's very subtle. You may just feel a presence around you. You may just feel like the room got filled with love, or like the room just got lighter. Literally, you might just feel like there's a flashlight being put in your eyes, although they're closed. You may just feel some sort of sensation on your body. Maybe it gets cooler or warmer. Maybe you get chills. It's different for everyone. The point is for you to familiarize yourself with that presence. You may not actually see anything. Perhaps you will, some changing colors and some of the things I just mentioned. The point of this practice is for you to just get familiar with what it's like to have your spirit guide in the room. As you invite them in, as you ask them to come forward, just sit with that. And that's it. Let go of expectations. Let go of how you think that all needs to play out. The more you do this, the more you're going to get familiar with how your spirit guides feel. And you'll be able to recognize, you'll be able to know when they are around or trying to get your attention. Number 2, signs. Ask your spirit guides for signs. Set a specific sign that you would like to see within the next 2 to 3 days and allow that sign to show up however it needs to. Maybe you're gonna ask for a purple flower because it's not something that you typically see. Maybe you're asking for a red bird to come across your path within the next 2 to 3 days. Ask them and tell them, okay, if we're actually connecting, if you're actually hearing me, if we're actually building a stronger connection here, show me the purple flower, show me the red bird, and then go on about your business. Try not to forget that you asked for this sign, because I have done that before. Because then it could show up and you don't realize that this sign has shown up. But you also don't want to go looking for it, right? Simply let it be, go on about your business, and I guarantee you, I promise you that one way or the other, that sign will show up in your reality. And it's such a beautiful confirmation. You actually feel really excited and mind blown a little bit, because it's like, whoa, what are the chances that I was actually going to come across this sign that I asked for? And also, with that being said, that sign can come however it's going to come. It could be that you see it on social media as you're scrolling on your phone. It could be that you see it in a movie. It could be that you see it in your physical reality. There's a purple flower in this pillow as we speak. It could be that someone has a conversation and happens to mention a purple flower. It doesn't matter how it comes, just know that you need to trust that and take that sign as confirmation that they're hearing you. Number 3, journaling. I could swear by journaling. I feel like journaling is the most powerful thing to ever exist. It is such a therapeutic way to connect with yourself and spirit. So what you want to do is simply pull out a piece of paper and a pen or your journal, and you're going to set the intention that you would like to connect with your spirit guides. Similar to meditating, but just through writing. You want to set up a nice space for yourself, maybe put on some nice meditative music. You want to be able to relax and enter a calmer, slower brainwave state for you to feel the connection to your spirit guide as you are journaling. From there, you are going to start asking questions. And this is where it gets a little fun, but this is where really you are going to put your trust into practice, or this is where your trust will be tested. Because what happens is you will be using your claircognizance in this practice, meaning that you are going to receive the answers to your questions through your claircognizance, which is clear knowing. You're just going to know it. Things are just going to come to your head. And your analytical mind will try to step in and tell you that you're just making this up, but you're not. I promise you're not. Your imagination is the bridge to connecting with the spirit realm. So as you're sitting there, you may ask questions like, what's your name? What do you look like? Where are you from? What do you do? How do you support me in this lifetime? What is your role in my life? You can ask anything that you would like to ask. And then you're simply going to allow yourself to sit with that and start either doodling or writing if you're ready to do that. Usually I start doing circles and allowing the flow of the energy to come through. And then I start answering the questions. But if you feel like that flow is ready to answer, then by all means. But essentially what you want to do is then start answering those questions. If you get a name right off the bat, don't question it. If you ask, okay, what's your name? And you get, my name is Joe. Take it. His name is Joe. That's just what it is. And you want to continue doing this more and more, and you'll feel eventually a bit of a difference between what's coming from spirit and your own thoughts. It is a practice that takes time, and the more you do it, the more you're able to pick up on the difference. But I always thought that this was such a fun way to get information out of them. And last but not least, number 4, which is all about your thoughts. Talking to them out loud. Yes, I literally talk to my spirit guides all day. I know that they have a ball with me because I literally talk to them as if they were in the room with me. No shame, no cares given. Get in the habit of discussing things with your spirit guides, of having conversations with them throughout the day. Hey, what should I do about this? Even if you're driving, even if you're doing dishes, even when you're cooking, simply have these conversations with them and see what comes to mind. See what you feel intuitively. What responses are you getting? And no, you're not going crazy, I promise. But this is a great way to, again, familiarize yourself with your spirit guides' presence and the way that they communicate with you. The more you do these exercises and these practices, the more you are going to just know and recognize when it's them communicating with you. Building a stronger connection to your spirit guides by far has been one of the bestest decisions I've made. The way that they love us and support us unconditionally does not compare to anything else. Okay, my beautiful friends, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I wish you the bestest of luck in building your connection with your own spirit guides, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!